Our top story today, amid the competitive climate surrounding investment in the southern states, Karnataka has taken a big step forward towards easing the climate surrounding its IT and space tech ecosystem. At the Bengaluru Tech Summit today, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivkumar and IT Minister Priyank Kharge unveiled both the state's IT policy 2025-2030 and the space tech policy. Now, under the proposed IT policy, Karnataka has outlined a software export target of 11.5 lakh crore rupees by 2030 from its present-day exports of 4.09 lakh crore rupees. The policy also outlined the state's intent to create over 90 lakh direct and indirect jobs in the sector. The space tech policy, on the other hand, has earmarked an investment target of $3 billion over the next 5 years, alongside a slew of SOPs, including subsidies in capital investment and operational expenditures. The space tech policy has also made a case for 50% stamp duty exemption and massive concessions in registrations. In fact, early today, Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, D.K. Shivkumar, spoke about some of these policy initiatives by the Karnataka government. Let's listen in to what the Deputy Chief Minister had to say.
Karnataka rise an IT powerhouse is not an accident nor a coincidence. Incentive from the government, from the private sector has made Karnataka what is today. Karnataka, as my friend said, that this is the state where the new IT policy was first started in this country. Karnataka also started the first IT department. Bengaluru is next Georgia city. It is an idea, it is a movement, and an ever-evolving engine of transformation, as my global leaders who just said, commented on Bangalore. Often we refer this as the garden city. Today, you know that it is not only a Silicon Valley of India and the startup capital of Asia. Bangalore stands convenient and heritage with the high-tech culture and cosmopolitan traditions and transformation. At the same time, I think you all agree that this is a city with health and education only. As you know that in education, my secretary was telling you about the number of engineering college, number of IT professions which we are producing every year. In Bangalore, we have more than, the population of Bangalore is 25 lakhs of IT professionals. 13 lakh are there in California. You imagine the strength of quality IT professional. Though our population is 1.4 crores, almost 20% IT professionals stands in this country and in this city, which we are proud.
Right, staying with Karnataka, the state has unveiled an affordable AI-equipped personal computer, Kio. Built by the Karnataka State Electronics Development Corporation Limited, or Kionix, the PC comes with an inbuilt AI agent, Budh. Built completely indigenously, Kio comes priced at 18,999 rupees, with its Linux operating system staying open source. The government has said that the plan with Kio is to market it to students and low-income households who don't have access to a PC, and hand this demographic an opportunity to use AI to perform multiple tasks. Earlier today, I caught up with Kionix chairman Sharath Bachegowda to get the lowdown on the technology and what it's all about. Let's listen into a slice of that conversation.
I think this has been about a year in the making, right? So it's been about a year since we've started this project. And the idea of the Honorable Minister and the Department of IT-BT over here was to take computation to the masses. So we noticed that the trend and the tendency of the hardware manufacturers was to make the devices more expensive along the curve. So it was being made more powerful, it was being made more expensive, which meant computation somehow became something reserved for the privileged. If you look at the statistics, the number of the computer penetration in India is about 10%, which means only 10% of households have computers in them, with that 10% heavily being skewed towards urban areas. So if you look at rural areas, the number of computer penetration is extremely low. Whereas if you look at, let's say, a mobile penetration, right? Every household, everyone has a mobile phone in their hand. So we want to make sure that we can take the price of a computer down so low that we should be able to get a computer into any house. So this was where it started, and this was the thought behind India's first low-cost, affordable, AI-powered PC.
As part of your vision itself, how many households do you see owning, a Kio, so to speak, in the near to medium term? I think it's priced at 18,999 rupees. Correct me if I'm wrong. So at this price point, do you foresee a sizable number of households now owning this AI-equipped PC?
Yeah. So, like you said, the device is right now priced at 18,999, considering the vagaries of the memory market, something which is doubled or tripled over the past 2 or 3 months. But we hope we can squeeze the price down a bit more. And we see this being deployed in a big way across households and across government setups. So if you look at what the government is running in terms of, let's say, our social welfare hostels, the hostels for backward classes, residential schools, all of these places have a very small computer to student ratio. So let's say for every 20, 30 students, you've got one computer. Our idea is to take this up higher, because one of the pillars on which Bangalore's tech growth story is based is the talent pool which we have available. We've got 25 lakh engineers present over here, and we want to make sure that we can take that number as high as possible.
Right.
And as we see, AI is the future, so we want an AI-powered PC on the edge.
Right. So how high are you thinking in terms of that number? Where do you expect it going from here, and in how long?
I would expect that maybe in the near future, we would expect high thousands, in excess of 10,000. But over the lifetime, we'll have to explore all of the opportunities which we have. So we can see it being deployed in a B2B scenario, in a B2C direct-to-home scenario, and even in a B2G scenario. So all these put together, we're expecting high thousands. The forecast is not yet clear.
All right. I have to ask you, what were the key points you kept in mind while developing both the hardware and the AI agent Buddh, as well as far as this is concerned? Any key priority areas or focus areas that the team had in mind while going about developing the system?
So I think one of the primary factors, like you were saying, is affordability was the key parameter which we wanted to hit. So we've looked at maybe 20,000 devices which have been deployed across Karnataka, devices based on x86 architecture, devices based on ARM architecture, devices which are running Apple ecosystem. And one common theme or one common thread which kept coming out is devices which last the longest and are most affordable are devices which are built on open source platforms. So open source was the path we decided to go down. Central government has also been touting RISC-V as the architecture or the preferred architecture for India. So the chip was built on an open source RISC-V architecture. The OS which it is running is a Linux-based open source architecture. And all of the tools, it could be productivity, it could be educational, it could be creative, are all open source tools which are running over there. So we see that planned obsolescence can be avoided, high costs can be avoided, and being locked into a particular ecosystem also can be avoided, where children get to play around. So all of these factors contributed into going for a low-cost PC.
So what else is on the anvil as far as Kionix is concerned? It's a great start, no doubt, the fact that you're getting both a piece of hardware and AI into the masses' hands. But where do you go from here, and what would be the next priority area for you in terms of such productization plans?
So what we can see is, like you were talking about, the AI agent as well. So typically AI agents which operate on bigger computers keep talking to the web. So you send a query to the cloud answers it, and you pretty much get the answer in your computer, which means you've always got to be connected. Or you've got very expensive devices which are running expensive AI cores. So we've created an inexpensive AI core working locally, which can answer all of your queries without going to the web. So it gives you security to a certain extent. This was one major factor. And along the whole product route, AI and this chip can be powered into many, I would say, quote-unquote, dumb devices to make them a smarter or AI-powered devices. So we are working out a product strategy for the chip and the chipset in the future, which includes, apart from mass deployment, even different scenarios. Can we put them into cameras, make them AI-powered cameras? Can we bring them into police stations, get monitoring done through that? So there are multiple use case scenarios which we're working on.
Any strategic partnerships you're forging to actually go about taking this mission forward and to go full tilt with to it? Are there scope for partnerships with tech giants, and are you exploring any of these potential partnerships?
So right now, as I was saying, we've just unveiled the device. So as a pre-order, we're really happy that a particular NGO which was working with government schools had placed a pre-order of about 500 devices. Just now on the stage, as we launched the device, Mr. Chris Gopalakrishna and Ms. Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw, they've pledged to procure another 1,000 devices. So we've got a pre-order of about 1,500 devices already. And along with that, we had a delegation from Japan, who are very interested in the device. They came, they had a look at the specs, the device, the form factor and what it does. And they're interested in collaborating with us, talking with us, and seeing how they can be a part of the Kio story as well. So we are very excited about the journey which Kio holds for us.
Well, shifting focus from Karnataka to Andhra now, the AP government is all set to effect direct transfer totaling to around 3,077 crore rupees towards 46.62 lakh farmers under the second phase of the Annadatta Sukhi Baba PM Kisan scheme. As part of the phase, each farmer who is a beneficiary stands to gain around 5,000 rupees from the Andhra government alone, while the centre's share stands at about 2,000 rupees per farmer, totaling to around 7,000 rupees that will hit bank accounts of each beneficiary farmer later this month. Andhra CM Chandrababu Naidu has instructed officials to simplify the procedures and enable eligible farmers to register for these benefits online. The Chief Minister has also instructed government officials to activate inactive bank accounts belonging to farmers across the state so as to ensure that they get these direct benefit transfers totaling to around 7,000 rupees per farmer from both the state and the centre with regard to the PM Kisan scheme itself. Moving from Andhra to Kerala now, the Kerala High Court has pulled up the state government for delaying its sanction to the CBI to probe the alleged cashew scam in the state. For context, between the years 2006 and 2015, two state officials, former Kerala State Cashew Development Corporation Chairman R. Chandrasekharan and former KSDC MD P.A. Ratish, were accused in a 600 crore rupee scam involving corruption surrounding the import of raw cashew nuts. While the courts had ordered an inquiry into the case in 2015, the Kerala government had reportedly been pushing back on a CBI inquiry into the matter. However, in its remarks, a single-judge bench of Justice A. Badruddin cast aspersions over the government's willingness and commitment to fighting corruption and ensuring that the rule of law in Kerala prevails, especially in the context of the case itself. The court, in fact, was hearing a contempt petition, which is now posted for hearing next week. In fact, my colleague Arpita Ajay Kumar joins us with the latest from the court's observations.
The Kerala High Court has hit out at the Pinarayi-led LDF government in Kerala for denying sanction for a CBI probe against R. Chandrasekharan, who is the former chairperson of Kerala State Cashew Development Corporation, and P.A. Ratish, who is the former managing editor of the board. Now, they are involved in an alleged 600 crore cashew scam. This means they were importing raw cashews at a higher price that prevailed from the international market prices. This scam involves, in fact, as per CBI, the scam happened between 2005 and 2015. Now, after 5 years of proper investigation, the CBI had found evidences against these two and the board saying that they were buying the cashews at a higher prevailing international market prices, and there were no proper data which led to opaqueness of procurement of cashew. Now, the state government, what they are saying is that the CBI has not given any fresh evidences other than the fact that they had initially given. The state government has also said that even though CBI has found some evidences against the board, there is no evidence that these two people were doing procurement for their financial gain or illegal gain. And that is why the government is denying a CBI probe. But the court has questioned the government over this, and they have slammed the Pinarayi government, asking for a proper reason for denying a CBI probe. While the CBI continues to say that they have all the evidences against these two and they have put in a request for prosecution, the state government continues to deny it. Now, we need to wait and watch what happens next in the court, because next hearing is kept in the next coming week.
Well, the judiciary in Kerala, they're coming down heavily on the state government for its inaction with regard to that alleged cashew scam between 2006 and 2015. Moving to Telangana now, the state has taken the first few steps towards having a composite gig workers bill. Telangana's cabinet, led by Chief Minister Revanth Reddy, has approved the Telangana Gig Platform Workers Registration, Social Security and Welfare Bill. Under the proposed bill, 4.2 lakh gig workers will now have the opportunity for social security cover, even as the legislation also hopes to ensure job security, insurance, fair wages and welfare support for workers in the gig economy. Under provisions of the proposed bill, a 20-member Social Security and Welfare Board is expected to be formed with representatives from workers' unions, aggregators and government officials, among others. The bill also mandates registration of all gig workers and the creation of unique identification numbers for each of these workers. It also mandates registration of aggregators as well and sharing of worker data by aggregator platforms within a 60-day period. Moving to Tamil Nadu now, members of the Federation of Revenue Associations of Tamil Nadu, or FERA, began a statewide boycott of SIR work today. The organization has been protesting excessive workloads, lesser manpower and insufficient training in connection with responsibilities its members have been tasked with in connection to the Special Intensive Revision, or SIR. As part of the boycott, Revenue Department workers submitted petitions to 32 district collectors notifying them of their decision to not carry out the exercise. The protesting officials have alleged being made to work till 1 a.m. on some nights and even being burdened with the expectation of completing 100% verification of 6.25 crore voters in the state, which in their words isn't an easy job. In fact, the rollout of SIR has been a contentious topic in Tamil Nadu as the state heads into an election in 2026, with Chief Minister M.K. Stalin also criticizing the decision to implement the drive just ahead of elections and in the middle of Tamil Nadu's northeast monsoons. In fact, my colleague Dharni now joins us with the latest from the Revenue Department officials' protest against the SIR rollout. Dharni, how likely is this protest all set to impact the rollout of SIR in Tamil Nadu?
Well, as you rightly said, the Revenue Department workers, they have announced the boycott of the SIR-related works in Tamil Nadu. The door-to-door enumeration is currently underway. Almost the process is complete. The government staff, they've distributed the enumeration forms to all the voters. Now, the job is to collect the full forms back. And now, the workers from the Revenue Department, they are alleging that the workload is very hectic and the time frame given for the completion of the enumeration process is very short. It's just a month, and there are around 6 crore voters in Tamil Nadu. So how is it possible to distribute enumeration forms and get the full forms back in just 1 month and make sure none of the eligible voters are being left out, as the question that is being posed by these workers? So they allege a heavy workload, and they say that the time frame given for the completion of the enumeration work is not sufficient. So they are now boycotting the SIR-related work. They say that only the time frame is extended and only if the work load is reduced, only if the hecticness towards the workload is reduced, then they'll resume their jobs. So let's wait and see how the government is reacting to this boycott. So far, the Revenue Department, the secretary and also other higher officials, they've been trying to negotiate and they've been trying to arrive at a compromise with the protesting workers, but it looks like there has been no compromise that's got arrived at so far. So we have to wait and see how the matter unfolds in the coming days, especially considering the fact that this enumeration process, the entire process has to be completed before the 4th of December.
Right. Well, Revenue Department officials there making sure that they ask for an extension should SIR activity continue without interruption. Now back in Bengaluru now, commercial leasing activity continues to swing in top gear. Jaguar Land Rover Technology and Business Services has expanded its presence in the city by leasing out an additional 1.46 lakh square feet at the Brigade Tech Gardens in the city. Monthly rent for the property in question is at a whopping 1.67 crore rupees for a 5-year term, according to rental tracker PropStacker. JLR Tech and Business Services, it is learnt, is actively looking at the property as a GCC base of sorts. The company, though, isn't the only one setting leasing activity on fire. Swedish furniture retailer IKEA has inked a lease with Purvankara for over 1.2 lakh square feet in Bengaluru's Purva Zentec Park on Kanakpura Road. The Swedish firm will occupy the first and second floors of the upcoming mixed-use development, whose handover is expected in the first quarter of the upcoming calendar year. IKEA, however, has not disclosed financials surrounding its lease at Zentec Park. Moving on to some sad news now. Former Murugappa Group Executive Chairman Arunachalam A. Vellayan has passed away at the age of 72 after a prolonged illness. Born in Chennai in 1953, Vellayan represented the fourth generation of the Murugappa family and was educated at the Doon School, SRCC, Aston University and Warwick Business School. Over more than 4 decades, Mr. Vellayan held several key roles across the Murugappa Group before taking over as Executive Chairman in 2009. Under his leadership, the conglomerate's revenues nearly doubled, rising from about 15,900 crore rupees to over 30,000 crore rupees, and market capitalization expanded more than sixfold. He was known for strategic bets, including the rollout of Coromandel International's My Grow More retail outlets, which later became central and key to the company's farmer-focused service model. Vellayan also played a prominent role in policy and industry forums, heading bodies such as the Southern India Chamber of Commerce, the Fertilizer Association of India, and the Indian Sugar Mills Association. He also chaired the board of IIM Kozhikode. In 2015, Vellayan stepped back from certain roles after being named in a SEBI insider trading case, a charge he insisted was merely speculative. He continued to remain active in business and advisory roles until he breathed his last. Well, on that note, it's a wrap on this edition. Well, on that note, it's a wrap on this edition of South Central. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow for more news and updates from South India. For the moment, it's goodbye.